So what's going on, guys? My name's Mr. Dalek JD. Welcome back, where today we're talking more about World War II Zombies. I'm going to be touching a little bit on some of the information which was made available about 2 weeks ago over on the Call of Duty Zombies subreddit from the PC Beta. This does contain some leaks and spoilers, but this is only discussing more about the class system, which is the least spoilerific thing out of anything. And since we are literally about 2 weeks away from the game releasing, I thought it would be good to touch base and talk about this in a little bit more light, because this is going to affect the way we actually play the game quite significantly, and this hasn't really been brought up before. We've touched the class system, but there's a load of other things which we haven't spoken about, which will definitely switch things up and really make you think on how you equip your classes and what you choose to enhance your gameplay experience specifically. I'll link the source of all this information down below in the description. You have been warned, this is a spoiler warning, so if you don't want to know anything at all, then click off the video. But if you're continuing to watch on, then you obviously want to know, and I appreciate it. And if you do enjoy this, please let me know your thoughts on how this will affect your experience down below in the comment section, and make sure to drop a thumbs up. But anyway, jumping in with this information, we know from the leaks as well as from the Game Informer article that there are going to be 4 different classes inside of World War II Zombies, which you will pick before you go into a game. These will all have their own specific ability, which is a meter which will charge up as you play, and then you can unleash that ability in the game. So we have Offense, where the ability is free fire, where the player can fire their weapon without expending any ammo, even if the clip is empty. These are obviously all going to be timed based, so they're going to be something which will last for a short amount of time. Control gives you the shell shock ability, which creates a burst originating from the player, knocking back nearby zombies, applies light damage, and holds them stunned. A pretty cool one there. We have Support, which has the ability Frontline, where all zombies chase the user. The triggering player deals double damage to zombies for the duration of the special. So it's a now you see me, but also with a double tap infused in it, which is interesting. And the final one is the Medic class with the camouflage ability, which Game Informer mentioned, where you essentially are ignored by zombies. Now, we all know quite well that these are the 4 classes, and there's actually a 5th one called Classic, where you don't have any abilities, which is for that standard vanilla gameplay experience that we've all gotten used to inside of Zombies. And there's another ability as well, which isn't specific to any class. I think you can apply it onto any of them, and this is called Fury, where the player's melee attack instantly kills weaker zombies, applies bonus damage against stronger zombies. So it's essentially giving you a slappy taffy, even though we have that perk within the World War II mode itself. But the massive thing that we've not mentioned before is that there is class perks and modifications, and these are perks which you select in the menu to equip to your class in Zombies that can enhance you and your special ability. Now, these are something which I believe is going to be through permanent progressions, very similar to the classic gobblegums inside of Black Ops 3 Zombies. You had to be a specific level for you to actually unlock and use them, and I feel this is going to be the same thing here, which will make us want to earn XP to unlock some of these more really useful different perks which will be equipped to your class. Now, there's no mention of how many you can equip. Perhaps it could only just be one at a time. But some of these are very interesting, as some of them include stuff such as a PhD-like ability, as well as Mule Kick, which is really interesting and will make you think tactically about what you pick. Now, when I mentioned saying that there's a lot, there really is a lot of them, so pay attention, because this is going to be quite a long list, and in no particular order. We're going to start off with the first perk called Dutiful Medic, which will make you take no damage from one hit while reviving a teammate. A really useful perk when you think about it. The next one, Exploit Weakness. Enemies stunned by shell shock take triple damage. So this is something you'd obviously equip with that shell shock ability for that class, where zombies that are stunned will take triple the amount of damage that they normally do. Explosives Handler. Give yourself and nearby allies 2 lethals while activating Free Fire. So that's really cool. Free Fire is where you can fire your weapon without expending any ammo, and it will give you and nearby allies, so your other teammates, 2 lethals to activate instead of just the 1, which is cool. Fast Hands. Use items and lethal equipment faster. Switch weapons faster. Sounds a lot like Dexterity from Black Ops 2 multiplayer. Next one is Fiery Burst. Enemies hit by shell shock are set on fire. So that shell shock ability, again, stunning the zombies. Perhaps you could equip both of these. It sounds like it would be too overpowered to have 2 of the same thing going on, but if you don't want triple damage, you can set the zombies on fire, which will of course eventually kill them. Finishing Blow. Deal extra melee damage against enemies with less than half health. Definitely useful if you're going to be going for like a melee only challenge or something, and this is cool. The more we read into it, the more this will actually really change up the gameplay experience. Flak Jacket. Take no damage from your own explosives. This is going to be used definitely by myself and probably a lot of you guys. That essentially is that PhD flopper there. So from your own explosives. I don't think it goes into too much detail on what that encompasses. If it's just from explosive weapons, from grenades, if it covers all of that, then that's your PhD right there. We have Fragmentation Skull, where headshot kills cause explosive damage to nearby enemies during free fire. So that's really cool and potentially something you can combine for the high rounds to really go to town on the zombies. Fully loaded, increase your max reserve ammo capacity. That could be really useful, definitely. Grenadier, carry twice the maximum amount of lethal equipment. Very intriguing indeed, means more grenades. Gung-Ho, fire weapons while sprinting. There's some perks that will actually have that effect, so the fact that we don't have that and instead we have that as a class perk is intriguing. We have Punishment, while Frontline is active, Frontline being the zombies chasing the user and you dealing double damage. Weaker enemies die automatically after hitting the user, so it sounds like Explosive Touch from WW Zombies. So combining those two things together, pretty damn powerful if you ask me. Hoarder, which is a perk which will carry an additional blitz. So the perk limit, we don't know what it is, could be 4 perks, could be 5, but if you put this one on, you will carry an additional perk slot, so that's intriguing. Maybe that means that we won't have a way, or maybe we might have a way of being able to unlock more perk slots within the map. We really don't know. Determination, gain 2 points of Geist Child when activating Frontline. That is really intriguing. I don't quite know what Geist Child is. Potentially could be the name of the meter that you activate when you're activating your special abilities. You could gain more towards getting it again. Long lasting, power-ups last longer. We have that as a card in IW as well, so that's intriguing as well that you can put that as a perk. Lucky Crit, chance to do double damage when hitting an enemy's weak point. That could be really useful if there's boss fights inside of World War II Zombies, and that could span for all of the maps. Could be really damn useful, and we never know if these are going to just be all of them or if they might introduce more with DLC. But anyway, continuing on, we have Mark II. The player's weapon is upgraded while using free fire. So essentially, it's in the name Mark II. So I guess if you're using this free fire, you're going to want a real powerful gun in the later rounds, and with an upgraded version, that will certainly do the deal. Mobilization, increase movement speed while using camouflage. That's going to be pretty useful, because if you wanted to play real sneaky in zombies, camouflage yourself, use that in plain sight. Potentially if you wanted to run to go and revive someone, having that is really going to make things a lot easier. Combining that with like stamina up, for instance, you're going to be going like the Flash to run across the map to try and revive, so that could be really key for the team play there. We have Mugger, increased jolts for killing weaker enemies with melee only, so essentially you get more points for killing enemies by meleeing them, so that's always good, that's really useful. Here we go, Pack Mule, carry a third primary weapon. So that confirms that Mule Kick is not going to be a perk that we can buy. Essentially, it's going to be a perk for that class. So that's intriguing. And that means if people necessarily don't want Mule Kick, because I know a lot of people complain when it comes to Director's Cut, they get rid of Mule Kick because they don't want 3 weapons. So that's nice that we have that option, and it's not something that you can get rid of. It's just going to be set in the class. We have Defibrillate, revive fallen teammates in range when activating Shell Shock. So here's where the team play is really coming into it, and activating your super ability will actually revive people. So that could be like the Phoenix Up, but instead it's in a perk form, which is really cool. Discipline, increase weapon accuracy and damage while crouching or prone. That's really intriguing that we have that inside of a zombies game, in my opinion. Preventative medicine, your whole team has longer bleed out time. This does not stack with other teammates using preventative medicine, so that's really intriguing. We have a card, or even not a card, a gobble gum in Black Ops 3 that lets you bleed out longer, and it lets you really bleed out longer. But this is affecting the entire team rather than just yourself. So that could be really useful, definitely. And it really gets your mind going on what your loadouts are going to be. Thinking of all the possibilities. Field Medic, revive fallen teammates quicker while using camouflage. Again, that's a perfect thing to put together with the mobilization one. And we don't know how many perks you can have inside of a class. Resilient, significantly reduces the delay before regaining health while using Frontline. Resourceful, increased chance to spawn power-ups when killing enemies. That could be great in the higher rounds because it's very hard to get drops, and we don't even know what the drop rate could be per round. We know in Black Ops 3 it's something like 4 or 5, so we know that could be really intriguing. Suppressive fire, enemies slow down momentarily as they take bullet damage. That could be really good for bosses as well. Like, just putting all these different perks together in a team could be really useful. Survivalist, gain 1 point of Guide Shield when activating Camouflage. Sustained Zone, sustains the Shell Shock zone for a few seconds. Enemies that enter the zone are stunned. Again, could be pretty useful for getting yourself out of a sticky situation. Team Effort. Nearby teammates also receive the damage bonus while using Frontline. Stubborn. Keep all Blitz after being revived for the first time. That's good, man. That's essentially your Phoenix up. Essentially, well, instead, reviving your teammates will let them keep their perks. So that will only work once, but that's still really cool that that's not something which is a one-time use consumable, but rather a permanent perk to have inside the game. Really happy about that one. We have Ammo Carrier. Nearby teammates receive a full clip of ammo when activating Free Fire. So that's like, hey, I've got infinite ammo, but hey, you can join in with the fun because you're going to get a full clip of ammo back. That's pretty neat. We have Armored Up, spawn and respawn with 3 points of Guide Child. So essentially, if you die, you respawn, and you're already going to have part of that meter charged up, which is pretty nice. Protector, allies hit with Shell Shock gain 1 point of Guide Child. Breathing Room, Shell Shock has increased range and knocks enemies back further. Charge the Line, increase movement speed while using Fury. Hand to Hand, increase melee damage while using Frontline. Vicious, enemies take triple damage instead of double damage while using Frontline. And finally, Exfiltration, allies revived while using Camouflage are also hidden temporarily. Now that is a absolute sick perk, and that is all the perks we have in the classes. So I'm assuming with that many, surely we'll be allowed to at least put on maybe 2 to 3, but let me know how many you think is the right amount to be putting, as some of these are really damn overpowered. It's like we have the consumable system where it's going to be these one-time use. I don't even know if they're going to be like cards or gumballs. We really don't know what they're physically going to be like, but there's a rarity on those, on how many times you can use them in a match. Well, those are consumables. These can be used every game, and they sound really damn useful. Now, we also have weapon perks as well, and there isn't too many, and they don't have a lot of descriptions, so I'll only touch on the ones that are listed within the post, but these are weapon perks, which I assume something you can add in the weapon kits if they're going to have that system again, and again, really interesting. I guess it's a bit like the weapon kits from IW, where there's some attributes which they had in multiplayer, certain variants, which now will transfer over to zombies. So there's one where getting 100 kills without going to last stand to spawn an Uber Laden. There's been no mention what Uber Laden means, so I have no idea. The next one, increased damage to the body, decreased headshot damage. So that's an interesting compromise. Normally headshots are always the way to go, but instead, if you're aiming for the body, you're going to do more damage instead. So I don't know. I don't really know about that one. Multi-kills grant a bonus to the special ability meter. That's going to be quite easy in the early rounds if you're getting collaterals. Headshot kills grant a bonus to the special ability meter. Increased headshot damage, decreased damage to the body, increased bullet penetration, stacks with full metal jacket, increased damage per bullet. One shot kills earn extra jolts. Man, that's going to be really good. Sounds a bit like the sniper card from IW. Melee kills grant a bonus to the special ability meter and carry extra reserve ammo. And that is all we know so far. Now, recently there was a little bit more that leaked regarding World War II Zombies, specifically looking at the Easter egg step coding. Now, we're not going to touch that or discuss anything about that here on the channel because that stuff is just way below the belt. That sort of thing is what genuinely ruins the gameplay experience. The sort of stuff we've covered today and have covered over the last week or two is stuff which, yes, would be interesting to experience when you first jump in, but it's something that after about 5 to 10 minutes maybe, or 1 to 2 games, going to be completely used to this system. And it's cool to know this sort of stuff, but when it comes to Easter egg steps, it's really not cool to be outlined what you're going to be looking for when you jump into the map for the very first time. We want that stuff to stay a mystery, so we're not going to talk about it. Luckily, that stuff anyway is vague enough that it doesn't really give off too many spoilers, so that's good. And if you want to find that, you probably can find it somewhere on the internet, but I won't link it or talk about it. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video and it got you more excited for World War II Zombies, knowing just how complex this class system is going to be, let me know in the comment section, drop a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe, because we're literally just about 2 weeks away from the game dropping, and hopefully Call of Duty have some stuff hidden up their sleeves regarding some zombie teasers. We need something new, guys, and hopefully we're going to get that pretty damn soon. But thank you for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos talking about World War II Zombies, linked down below and on screen, and I'll catch you guys in the next video very, very soon.